From the Huntington Bank Studio, this is Colts 360.
Dubs on the road, see y'all week 1.
They win out of Miami. Good road, Dubs, let's get it.
Okay. Whatever Mo said. See y'all week 1, man, here we come.
It's another Colt win.
Let's do it. W's.
116, Colts win, preseason checking out.
The Colts wrapped up the preseason with a victory at Cincinnati, and we are now just 1 week away from kicking off the regular season at Lucas Oil Stadium. I am Lara Overton, host of Colts 360, joined by voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor, to preview the upcoming season for the Indianapolis Colts. This is the last season we have without the NFL, so we figured this would be a perfect opportunity to recap everything from training camp and the preseason. Because, Mate, there's a lot to unpack about the last month. What were your biggest takeaways going into the regular season from what you saw up there at Grand Park and then over the course of those three preseason opportunities?
You know, going back to the start of training camp, Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen talked openly about wanting to build the intensity of training camp, right? Trying to drill some things.
Competition.
Absolutely. But not only that, but how do we win games? How do we come up clutch in the fourth quarter? How do we win all of these games that come down to the wire? The Colts played 13 games last year, decided by one score. Now, they won 8 of them, but they also lost 5. So there's plenty of opportunities to get better in their pursuit of making the playoffs for the first time in 4 years. So you saw that. I thought, they put on pads. As soon as they were allowed to put on pads, they never took them off. The full padded practices were way more prevalent this year than you've seen in years past. You had full practices dedicated to just scrimmage, right? Situational work, a lot of 11 on 11. You saw a night practice that was all scrimmage. You had 2 joint practices with the Packers and the Baltimore Ravens that were heavy scrimmage. And Shane actually talked about that this week. They had, according to him, they had over 400 more snaps between offense and defense in 11 on 11 simulated periods than they did this time last year. So I really do think they were able to raise the bar of that intensity and try to drill some scenarios where you have to be clutch in to win clutch games.
And as we talk about the competition, the intensity, we of course had the quarterback competitions. We know it will now be Daniel Jones for the 2025 season. What does this offense look like with Daniel Jones at the helm? Yeah, Daniel Jones looks incredibly sharp. The biggest compliment I can give to him is that he doesn't look like a guy that was picked up back in March. I mean, he looks like he's been here for years. Complete mastery of the playbook, comes in with a high degree of professionalism. I mean, he's here early and he's working with the guys and he's drilling with people, one-on-one individually. And we talked all about what's this battle going to come down to in terms of consistency between he and Anthony Richardson. And it's consistency in everything. It's what everything that encompasses playing quarterback in the NFL. It's mastery of, getting in and out of bad plays and good plays in the line of scrimmage. It's knowing where to go with the football, but it's also ball placement and it's overall NFL accuracy. And he has that. I mean, twice in his career, he's been at 67%, and for his career, he's at 65%. So he has what we call NFL Sunday accuracy, and that's where the Colts were deficient in last year, especially in the middle of the field, like that 15 to 20 yard down the field window and between the numbers, trying to get tight ends more involved and try to keep this offense on the field, on schedule a little bit more than they were a year ago. And especially with Tyler Warren, you want to see those tight ends more involved, no doubt. And you talk about Daniel Jones and his mastery just being in this system since the spring. Yeah. Brand new defense under Lou Anarumo. This entire group, which is very veteran heavy, of course, across the defense. But with this new Lou Anarumo defense, what can we expect not only with the scheme, but then also the big additions? This was a heavy area of investment this offseason, bringing in guys like Charvarius Ward and Cam Bynum. No, great point. Let's start first with the scheme. Aesthetically, I mean, you're already noticing a big difference. The Colts are lining up in different fronts in the preseason that we haven't seen in a long, long time. And then I just think big picture, it's going to be, the word is aggressive, way more aggressive than it has been in years past. You're going to see not a crazy amount of blitzing, but I think you're going to see more than what you're accustomed to if you're a Colts fan. And then you're going to play aggressive on the outside, sticky press man-to-man coverage at times. And you can do that now with a guy like Charvarius Ward. Cam Bynum comes in. Lou Anarumo really made his mark, and his calling card so far in the NFL as a defensive coordinator is
being able to disguise things in the back end, be a little bit more game specific than what the Colts have been the last couple of years. You know, the hallmarks of the Colts defense in terms of the trouble areas the last couple of years have been not able to impact the quarterback as much as they want to, and the other team's best player is unfortunately having big games against the Colts defense. And I think Lou Anarumo can remedy those two things with his style of play. And like you said, the personnel, you can do that. A ton of experience, playmaking ability. Charvarius Ward, Cam Bynum, maybe Xavier Howard's in for a big year and a big role on this team after being picked up a couple of weeks ago. But there's just a lot to be excited about the potential of this defense.
I think in a word, disruptive is what you're going to see from this Lou defense. That's something that was kind of a theme over the course of the preseason. And we are just 1 week away, as we mentioned, from kicking off the season at Lucas Oil Stadium, both weeks 1 and weeks 2.
That's right.
At home. How critical is it for the Colts to capitalize on both those games being home opportunities to start September?
Without a doubt. I mean, just big picture, the Colts haven't won a week 1 game since 2013. I am so sick and tired of hearing about that. I haven't won a division since 2014. So, I mean, everybody in the building understands these things, right? It's time to win. Missed the playoffs 4 years in a row, but trying to get off to a good start at home, like you said. But it's not only that, it's who you play, right? You play the Dolphins and you play the Broncos.
Conference opponents.
Conference opponents, but those two teams I think are going to be jockeying for position all year long for a playoff spot and maybe a wild card spot, because you look at the AFC West, the Broncos are going to be potentially blocked by the Chiefs. The Chiefs have won that division 9 years in a row. And then the AFC East, the Dolphins are going to be jockeying for position with the Bills. They've won that division 5 years in a row. So, you know, even though it's weeks 1 and 2, these games could have big playoff ramifications for the rest of the year.
And one of the best things about the regular season being back ever so soon is locker room victory speeches. And that's exactly how the Colts wrapped up the preseason. So let's go to that locker room in Cincinnati and head coach Shane Steichen.
Hey, hell of a team win. Now give yourselves a round of applause. Hey, you want to finish the preseason the right way? That's what we did, man. Offense over 450 yards off. And I appreciate all you guys, man. We got to make some tough decisions here in the next 48 hours, man, but I appreciate all you, man. We're building something special here. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Win for Jim on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win for Jim!
And coming up next, the Pittman preview. Wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr. talks about expectations for this Colts offense and why he's relieved to finally see a defense other than Lou Anarumo's. Coming up next on Colts 360.
It's so hard to tell what they're getting to, because they show something and then they get to something else, but they're only getting to half on this side, and that other side looks like something else. And like when you're kind of doing your pre-snap read and the ball snaps and like everyone's moving, it's really hard to like really know like what they're running, and that causes confusion for wideouts, for quarterbacks.
This message is brought to you by Meijer, the official super center of the Indianapolis Colts and proud sponsors of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. It's time now for the Forum Credit Union Question of the Week. Who holds the Colts record for most sacks in their rookie season? Hall of Famer Dwight Freeney had 13 sacks in 2002. Visit the Forum Credit Union Fan Forum section of Colts.com to interact with other fans online. Forum Credit Union, helping members live their financial dreams. This season, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is teaming up with the Colts to shine a light on outstanding small businesses. Indy is our hometown, and boosting local business is just one way we want to thank this great city. Go to Colts.com/Anthem Spotlight to nominate your favorite small business today. Anthem and the Colts, helping Hoosier small businesses score.
The Colts Podcast Network is your year-round resource for all of your Colts conversations, and that is available anywhere you get your podcasts. And ahead of the regular season, J.J. Stankovitz sat down with Michael Pittman Jr. for a recent Colts Show podcast to get the veteran wide receiver's perspective on the Colts quarterbacks, the impact of rookie Tyler Warren, and the challenge of going up against this Lou Anarumo defense.
Colts take the starting quarterback this week. It's Daniel Jones. What have you learned about Daniel over the last couple of months that you've been in meeting rooms with him, you've been on the practice field with him, in games with him?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I like to say I think that both quarterbacks competed their tails off, and I'd just like to congratulate both of them. And I think Anthony showed major improvement. But ultimately, as a team, that we decided to go with Daniel, and Daniel had a great camp too. And we are excited for Dan, and we're still looking to pull AR forward and keep on coaching him up and getting better. But I just say that Daniel's consistency and his routine really caught people's eye. You know, he's in there every day, extra film, his workout routine, his pre-practice routine, his level of professionalism. And like, that's not to say that AR wasn't doing the same things too, but just speaking to him specifically, like, just like that just really like caught your eye.
You can tell like that he's probably been able to hone that routine over 6-7 years in the NFL. I think you said, you know, he's just like constantly watching film when you were talking with the media the other day.
Yeah.
And you'll go in there like, and he'll kind of talk through stuff with you. What have you maybe picked up just about like that wealth of experience that he does have from starting 69 games in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, we're just able to talk about things before they happen. So like, we'll be like mid-practice, hey, like if they do this, like we're going to do this. Kind of the same things that I saw from some of the older quarterbacks that we had, like Phillip Rivers and Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz, because he's not quite that old yet, but
he's 28.
Yeah. So, but he's just got that maturity aspect. He's very like approachable, which like my first year, like me, like going up to Phil, like I didn't dare go up to Phil and ask him a question, you know, like just because I was a rookie, but. And like, just like, you just kind of like relate to him, right? You know, so said I think that everybody like has taken to him very well.
So what's your message been to Anthony this week, given the close relationship you have with him kind of in the wake of this news?
Yeah, so I actually told him today is don't stop doing the things that you were doing, because he was improving. He still is, and he's still so young that for him to give up now, I mean, like, I think would be like a huge waste now. He's not doing that, but I just want to encourage him to keep on pushing forward. He's so dang young. I mean, quarterbacks can play until they're 40 years old. I mean, he's 23. So there's still so much football ahead of him, and then I want to see him get there and basically achieve everything that he set out to.
What do you think his mentality's been this week? Because when he talked with the media on Tuesday, he was very professional. I thought he went about it in a way that was very mature for a guy who, like you said, he's only 23 years old, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think Ant has been great. I mean, the way that he handles all this pressure, like he handles it like a real pro. I mean, like there's lots of guys that would be like, you know what, forget this. Like they're doing me wrong. Like I'm going to give up. I'm going to skip out, demand a trade. And he hasn't done any of that, you know? Like he's stuck around here and he's going to keep working. I see him still like grinding and getting better each day, and I think that's really like his goal, just get better each day. And then like we'll look up and like he'll, you know, like just like you never know what happens, you know, Geno Smith, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, you know, like just like all guys who people wrote off, you know.
Real quick tangent, because you brought up Sam Darnold. So because I was going back and I was like, when did you start at USC? So it was 2016. You had 7 tackles that year?
Yeah.
So you're playing special teams.
Special teams, yeah.
Should every player have to play special teams to start their, whether it's college, high school, NFL career?
I think it helps. Like, I kind of wanted to play special teams because when I went to USC, I wanted to play defense. And,
really?
And I remember when I got there, T. Martin, the quarterback coach of the Ravens now, basically forced me into receiver. And I was mad about it. And the only way that I got to kind of play defense was on special teams. So I actually ended up, I think that year I was like all Pac-12 special teams. And then the next year I did the same thing. So just because I was mad, like just like I'm like, I'm really a defensive player, and they got me playing receiver. Like, I don't want to do that. And that's kind of how I got my defense in.
And there is plenty more Colts 360 still ahead. Stick around for the second part of JJ's conversation with Michael Pittman Jr. That is coming up next.
His personality is he's all business, but he has a little goofy side to him. And he loves movie quotes.
Enter now for your kid's chance to be Junior Blue at the next Colts home game. Visit Colts.com/Meyer Junior Blue to enter today. It's time for the Forum Credit Union question of the week. Which Indianapolis Colt has the most career interceptions? Eugene Daniel with 35 career interceptions. Visit the Forum Credit Union Fan Forum section of Colts.com to interact with other fans online. Forum Credit Union, helping members live their financial dreams. Forte Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, proud orthopedic partner of the Indianapolis Colts. At Forte, fellowship-trained physicians and staff provide comprehensive, specialized sports medicine and orthopedic care to active patients of all ages. To learn more, visit forteortho.com.
What did playing special teams teach you about, like, the grind that it takes to, play at a high level?
Yeah, I just always took it like no one is too good to like play on teams. And I really took that like mindset because I really thought the way that I was going to get into the pros was playing special teams, because I had heard so many people talk about, hey, to be a pro player, like you got to play teams. Because at that point, like I'm a freshman, I have no tape. I haven't made any plays yet. So I'm like, I'm going to ball out on special teams. And I ended up being the only offensive freshman to not redshirt.
Really?
Yeah.
2016.
Yeah, 2016.
Okay, that's impressive.
Yeah.
And that was a good 10-3. Played in the Rose Bowl that year?
So we won the Rose Bowl versus Saquon's Penn State team.
Penn State.
Yeah.
All right, let's run it back to this year's team.
Mm-hmm.
Since we were just talking about USC and Penn State, let's talk about Tyler Warren. Sorry.
Yeah.
What has impressed you about, maybe not the way that he plays on the practice field, but everything else that you see behind the scenes from him?
He's just a solid dude in everything that he does. Like off the field, you can just count on him. He's a super chill guy. We've gone fishing a couple times. I actually took him to one of my secret spots where he caught a monster of a bass.
I saw you posted it. That thing was huge.
So it was huge. The bass was just shy of 5 pounds, but the frame on it was huge. If that was a pre-spawn bass, that bass could have been anywhere between 7 to almost 8 pounds if it was full of eggs and spawn. So
that's the kind of analysis we're getting here
on
the Colt Show. Pre-spawn bass. Heck yeah.
That bass is frame and its mouth was ginormous. Like I was shocked that it was it was like 4.9 pounds, which is still a monster bass.
That's hard to pull out of the water.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And we were fishing topwater frogs. So just watching it just snatch that topwater was awesome.
Okay. Him is like you're talking about him being like a solid dude. What else about him just in the building, like the work ethic he has, the hours and the time he puts into this thing?
Yeah, his personality is he's all business, but he has a little goofy side to him. And he loves movie quotes. He's always talking in like movie quotes, and he knows every single movie, every quote, and I don't know how he does it. But that guy is a movie guy, so if you ever have a chance, ask him about it, and he'll be able to spit out any quote from any movie that you can name.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's an impressive skill to have. This collection of weapons on offense between you, obviously Tyler, Alec, Josh, AD, Mo, Will, Drew, JT, DJ, Tyler, all the way down. This looks like a very deep group of skill guys on this offense. How do you see you guys all complementing each other during this season?
Yeah, there's just so many ways that I think that we can get it done that pretty much anybody could take over on any given day. So that really just gives us options, like however we want to attack teams that you can't double somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you double somebody, all right, well, there's 3 other guys like that are going to go like and get you. So if teams are going to drop back, then JT's going to run on them. If they're going to bring that front up, like then we're going to air them out. So just having that philosophy like in mindset.
How has going against Lou's defense in practice challenged you as a wide receiver?
Absolutely. Lou's defense runs around and like it's it's so hard to tell what they're getting to because they show something and then they get to something else, but they're only getting to half on this side. And that other side looks like something else. And like when you're kind of doing your pre-snap read and the ball snaps and like everyone's moving, it's really hard to like really know like what they're running. And that causes confusion for wideouts, for quarterbacks. And like that's part of the frustrating thing is like just like you think it's going to something and then they go to something else, but then that other side was something completely, and then you're running across the field like into something that you don't know what it is. But Lou's done a really good job, like just like with those guys. There's so many backers flying through the middle, breaking up passes and everything. Like it's like it really is confusing. And the first week that we went up against his defense, like I was like, I don't even know what they're doing. Like just like I don't know what coverage that is. Don't know what they're doing. It kind of looks like man, kind of looks like two, kind of looks like four. You know, like just like don't know.
But then that probably forces a lot of communication between you and, you know, whether it was Daniel or AR or your other, you know, receivers out there. Like, how did that maybe force you to like, okay, hey, we don't really know what they're doing. We need to hone in on certain things, if there's anything there.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I think that how much man that they play has definitely helped us out because in past defenses, like we ran lots of zone. So on games that we did get man, we didn't necessarily have the same tool belt or the same toolbox that we have now because we go up against it every single day. So I think it's going to help us out a lot, like once we play those teams that are man teams.
Right on. It's great insight. From USC wide receiver number 11, Michael Pittman Jr. Thanks for joining me here on the Colts Show.
Thank you.
Great to be back with you for another season of Colts football and a brand new season of Colts 360. Each and every week throughout the season, I will be joined by head coach Shane Steichen. We will also bring you all new conversations with your favorite Colts players and the Colts news and content that you are always looking for. Thanks for spending part of your holiday weekend with us. For all of us at Colts Productions, we are excited for a brand new season ahead and cannot wait to kick off the season. Next week will be our first episode of the regular season, and we also look forward to seeing you next Sunday at Lucas Oil Stadium for that home opener against the Miami Dolphins, as well as that very special Ring of Honor induction ceremony honoring Jim Irsay. Have a great weekend.